going on, and welcome to Eclipse Theory Games, podcast where we bring you the latest in gaming news, indie reviews, and everything else under the sun. My name is Kendall, and I'm here with my co-host,
Tony, aka Daddy Fast Snacks.
The snack theme continues. I am not mad. We're gonna
There's a
have
lot of legs on that shit, but more than anything, it's the 25th anniversary of Equiminize, so I'm hardcore rapping today.
I'm not mad. That is a fire hoodie. I'm not gonna hold you. That's dope. Outcast is always gonna fly here on Eclipse Theory if you didn't know. But games also probably secondary to Outcast, what we talk about here today. So usually we come here with a specific topic, some big thing we want to talk about, or like a game we want to play, a tournament, something like that. Not today. Today we are here to just kind of shoot the shit, talk about what we've been playing. It's a hell of a year to just kind of have a conversation about games. And there's a lot of stuff we haven't really gotten a deep dive into the way we want to. So me and Daddy Fat Snacks over here about to kind of just break down what we've been getting into. I know you had some games that you wanted to kind of get off your chest in particular.
Yeah, man. Number one on that list being Cyberpunk. Um, I was an relatively early adopter of the game. Like the game dropped, the whole controversy happened, and I think I've said this on here before. I was just on Amazon, and the shit said $20, and then I'm like, from what I hear, it run good on the PS5. So let me get in on this before they fix it.
Right.
Because they was gonna fix it. Like that was the thing. It was like everybody was dumping on. I ain't gonna spend my money on this. Nah, you're not gonna spend 60 on it. I get
Right.
that. But
Right.
the motherfucker 20 and it's getting fixed. Jump on that shit.
Facts.
Even if it ain't playable for a little bit, it's gonna be playable soon.
Yeah.
So I bought it at 20. Like I said, it ran great on the PS5. Obviously there were issues on the PS4, even on the PC.
Mm-hmm.
But on the PS, dude, I played that straight through 25, maybe 30 hours.
And that's
It
you
was
beat it pre-patch.
I beat it pre-patch.
Okay, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I had minimal hiccups. Like
Yeah.
there was some shit. There was some shit. Like I'm not gonna front. There
Yeah,
was some shit.
yeah.
And I was looking at it like,
Couple
God damn. Ugh.
couple T poses above your car and things like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
The cars just shooting off in the air.
Right.
But like
Yeah.
when I say there was some shit, I'm acknowledging that there were problems with the game. But I mean, it happened like if I played the game for a total of 4 weeks straight, maybe once a week.
Okay. And then yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So I mean
And obviously my experience is not, what other
everyone's
people's
here.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's people that played Scarlet and Violet that never had an issue, and then this people that played it that literally can't even start it up to this day.
It's funny that you bring that up because I was about to chime in about Cyberpunk. I had it on PC. Same shit. I was like, it's $30. It was $10 more for me. But I was like, I'm gonna just try it out. Fuck it. And everybody says it runs okay on PC. Like literally the exact same story. I had very minimal issues. I think the one thing I did run into, like I wasn't joking. There was a cutscene, and like as she's dramatically introducing Night City, all the cars just have motherfuckers above them, just kind of floating up there like they
The
crucified. It's
Jesus
crazy.
Bynum.
Yeah, yeah. Like, but I mean, aside from stuff like that, I really hadn't had anything crazy either. And the same is true for Pokemon. I haven't had any. I beat Pokemon, and I was like about to start the new game plus shit. I mean, the second set of new game plus. Like Pokemon's in game comes after the Elite Four in this one. So I had the same exact experience, but that's interesting because I've been wanting to jump back into Cyberpunk. I held off on continuing it when I heard about the
Dog.
patches.
So this is obviously the perfect time to get into it because you got the 2.0 patch and you've got Phantom Liberty.
Mm,
Both dropped within like days of each other. The 2.0
right,
patch came
right.
first. It redid the entire skill tree and perk system like
Yeah,
entirely. It's a feels like a different game.
that's what
It
I'm hearing.
feels total like my first playthrough felt like a stripped down version of Deus Ex,
Mm,
which it was fine with me because
that's
I
fun.
love
Yeah.
Deus Ex, and I'm perfectly fine with a stripped down version of it because the story with like the writing and the voice acting, the story is just flat out dope. Like
Mm,
absent of all the other issues, it's a really
agree.
good story. Um, but as far as what it is now, there's so much more emphasis on actual builds. Like your character actually feels like your character. Um,
Okay.
like I'm heavy into like pistols.
Yeah,
anything with like anything single shot in a first person shooter adventure game, I'm with it because I like to be accurate. Like that's why I fuck with bows so much in Destiny and other games.
yeah, I
Like
can see that.
I can have a stealth build with just pistols and build that around headshot damage
Right,
and
right.
just wreck everybody. Like you
Sneaking
can
around
almost
just
play the game like John Wick with John Wick like in your head giving you commentary. It's fucking incredible.
that's
Like I've
actually
seen
dope.
video. Yeah, I've seen videos like I don't know if you follow him on Twitter, Ronan.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. He drops a bunch of videos on Instagram recently just of him playing. And I mean he's just literally walking through and it's like four dudes in the room and it's just headshot, 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 and it's all crit. All crit damage.
Man, that's
And that's
that's
that's his build. It's like a stealth like pistol headshot build. And I'm
I can
looking through
fuck
my
with it.
skill tree and I'm like, you can do so much more with your character where it's not just I'm just shooting everything. I got an assault rifle, I got a pistol, I got a shotgun, I got a submachine gun, and it's all on me. Now it's like, I mean, even the melee shit matters. You know,
Yeah,
you can do vehicular combat. You can slow down time in the car while you're doing the combat, so you're not just flying 100 miles an hour trying to shoot a motherfucker.
right.
You could do stunts and shit. You can jump out the car.
Man,
Like
this is this
the 2.0 patch changed everything. I mean, even the cops are, move better and
right,
all
right.
that.
That's
But no,
crazy, man.
it's so much more of an improved experience, even for people who didn't have an issue like me. It's
Yeah,
literally like I paid $20 for two games.
right, right.
That's basically what it feels like.
And
And
I
I mean, of
love
course,
this story.
I'm getting Phantom Liberty, so that's like $30.
Right,
So I paid $50 for two games.
right, right. Phantom
You
Liberty
know,
is gonna put me at $60. You know what I mean? Which is
right?
the price
You
of
know
a
what I'm saying?
full price game. So I have
And
so
honestly, if you're
many.
looking at it like that, I paid $50 for three games. Because Phantom, from what I
Right.
hear, Phantom Liberty is basically a full blown like it's an
It,
expansion, but it's like a
in every sense.
15, 20 hours, even more with side stuff. Like it's
Yeah,
another game.
man. I
I'm
heard.
good, man.
Honestly, yeah. Like I've heard it. I mean, I've heard it talk about this being the best expansion they've ever played. Like this is such a dope story for a game that had such a terrible reception on release. Like I didn't play it earliest patch, you know what I mean? When I got it, it was already going on sale because it was broken. So they had passed it and started to work on things. So I didn't play the most broken version, but I stand by the fact that Night City is the craziest fucking city I've played in a video game. Like
Bro.
that shit is alive, man, in a way that
Is
I've
it
always looked for.
you
It's
played it
wow.
pre 2.0 and it felt like that.
Yeah, and I'm man.
Now it's dog. It feels like I'm bumping into motherfuckers on the street, like and my character is moving, like you see the camera kind of
Yeah,
shift and shit. Like
man.
it's the people are reacting to everything is so much better, man. It's just it goes to kind of speak to what gaming is now, where people get so up in arms about people are dropping broken games or unfinished games at $60 and then they're fixing it. I'm like, yeah, but they're fixing it.
Yeah.
Ain't like they
You
dropping it for broken at 60 and going, have fun.
like we
You know,
used to have. Yeah, you know
nigga,
what I
and that's the
mean?
thing let's go back to the time where they just released a finished game. Do y'all remember like
Bro.
what do you think speed running is?
You know what I mean? Like
It's just
these
taking
games
advantage
are
of a broken game.
these games are fucked up. And there are so many franchises that launched in our youth that didn't take off because they were so, you know, flawed in ways that could be fixed now. It's kind of like this is the ideal. You know what I mean? You want to be able to
Oh,
go in and you know, fine tune the game to where it's amazing. Cyberpunk from the jump had one of the dopest concepts. Like their vision for
yeah,
that game, it was incredible. And so many things about their vision were in the game. Like we gave it so much flack, and it's because of the way they handled the rollout. It was poorly handled. The whole only
yeah,
sending out PC codes, all that stuff is whatever. We don't have to dig into it again. But the game that was there, the game that they were trying to present, incredible. Like what they were trying to do with that city, with the gameplay, with the options that you have, it's pretty. And with the way conversations happen. I'm going to talk about Starfield in a minute, and it's so interesting to compare the two, just pre-patch again, like before the patch, like comparing what Bethesda set out to do, and they accomplished a lot of their goals, but they didn't even set out to do half of what CD Projekt Red attempted to do with Cyberpunk, and a lot of it succeeded. So this is so fucking fire to see, and I can't wait for the
yeah, man.
actual expansion to
This
drop.
No Man's Sky. I mean, it's
Yeah,
like I mean, you look at No Man's Sky. Again, another game I got early just on the, I guess we have to kind of put a name to it, but the Fable promises
Yeah,
that we
yeah,
got.
yeah.
And it wasn't that, like at all.
Right.
Early No Man's Sky was not at all what they told it was going to be.
I did experience that.
But
Yeah.
they, I mean, they had couple of issues with communication early on trying to get it fixed, but they went dark so they could work on it. Like that's
All right.
okay. I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
And then they start working on it and they start dropping free updates and
Yes.
not just free updates like, hey, we added 2 more guns and we added an extra planet. No, they expanded the world. They changed the
Yeah.
way the game played.
Change mechanics.
This is shit people would charge $20 for at minimum.
Straight up.
DLCs each,
It's crazy that
and
they
this has
could do
all
this.
been free,
Yeah.
all of it. And
Yeah.
that game is every bit now of what they promised it would be when they first launched it. And that's just the way like these big ambitious games are not going to hit out the gate all the
Right.
time. Like
Right.
Starfield is an anomaly. And even it had a couple issues at the beginning, but not
I got some
nothing.
conversations to have. I've been
Yeah,
playing the fuck
nothing.
out of
But
Starfield.
for me, like from what I've seen, nothing game breaking. But
Right.
start
Right.
for especially for a company with a reputation for dropping buggy shit like Bethesda has,
Exactly.
for that game to be as ambitious as it is and to hit out the gate is fucking incredible. Because I wouldn't have expected that. I would have expected maybe 6 months down the road it is everything that they say it is. But
Right.
right now, you look at the breadth of side quests and the detail in that shit. It is what they said it is
Yeah.
right now at this moment.
And it's funny. And keep in mind, the next time a game gets delayed, keep in mind the fact that you were like, I would expect it to be this good 6 months from now. They delayed that joint from like January, February to now. So the math adds up. You know what I mean? Like
Math be mathing, man.
that shit happens for a reason, guys. Like it is what it is. Now, speaking of Starfield, I wanna kind of get my thoughts on this out there because I've been addicted to Starfield since it dropped pretty much, or since I got my hands on it pretty much. It's an incredible game. Like the amount of stuff there is to do, the density of like the storyline, the fact that like when you start the game, you're gonna be walking around and overhearing conversations and just have missions pop into your mission log. Like they pop up on the left side of your screen just off overhearing a conversation. So you'll have
Oh, see,
like,
that's dope.
yeah, like you'll
Because you ain't got to talk to nobody. Like you just like you
man,
walking through life. You hear some shit like, yo, let me go to the store. I heard these motherfuckers in
straight.
fire chips.
It's exactly right. Go to the store and buy so and so shit. I mean, if the game was a different type of game, that's feasible. I know some chips is in the game, but like this game has that thing that Final Fantasy VII Remake does that we talked about, where it builds the world by the conversations that you hear, but in a way where you're actually getting stuff to go do. Like they'll tell you, go check out this interesting thing, and the scope of it is so fascinating because, like, I mean, what you think of as like a little settlement or area in Fallout is a planet. Like, it's just how that goes. Like, oh, go check out this. Usually they'd be like, go check out this base, and it's like an entire fucking solar system that you're going to check out. Like, go scan 4 or 5 planets. It sounds like it's huge in scope, and the way they manage that is your star map. I mean, you start off on a super zoomed out, where you're just seeing stars. Like, there's a bunch of stars all over. You zoom into each one, you see the solar system. Zoom into each planet, and you can fast travel to the orbit of that planet from anywhere. Like if I'm on a planet and I go to pause and I go fast travel to another planet, I can just go there. No type of like, I don't have to be on my ship, none of that. So there's a lot of quality of life that I feel like isn't really being mentioned with that. Like the fast travel system is crazy. I've been on one planet, fast travel to a new system
That's
on
hella
in another.
convenient.
Yeah, it's like I mean, you can look at it if you can see your marker in the world, and sometimes it's literally in the stars. It's kind of dope, and it makes me feel like that's why they did it that way. Like you can look up into the stars and see the marker of the planet where you're supposed to go. You hit your survey button and click it, and you can fast travel without even hitting start. Like it's so many little things like that. With that being said, every planet has its own map, and you don't get a map for that. Like you don't get a map for each settlement that you go to. Like if I go to a new town, there's no way to find your way around without looking around and like checking signs. It's like you have the best fast travel system and the worst planetary. Like, why would there not be a mini map? Like, what? That's so weird. It's that is the easiest way for me to say this game feels like 2 steps forward and maybe 1 step back. Like it's like y'all still working with the same systems that you've been working on, and you've expanded in a way that's amazing. But it probably should have this fixed, right? Like I still shouldn't be fucking furious about my inventory, right? Like this shit, there's so many things that could be better. You know what I mean? Like,
I
it,
just see the no mini map thing, and as much as look, we're all used to mini maps, so it's kind
right.
of become a crutch. But there is something to be said for a game as expansive as that wants to actually immerse you in the world to that
And have
degree
you find your way
and
around.
have you actually like pay attention to the
I would
signs.
be
And
all the way with you if they had laid it out in a way that made me feel like they wanted me to find my.
is it
Nah, I'm
but see,
getting
and I see that's the
lost.
thing. Yeah, I see
Yeah,
that's the thing is
like,
that you
like
can go that far, but your environmental layout got to be solid.
bruh, yeah, it's like Breath of the Wild is like that, where it's like you get a terrain map. We don't even talk about the fact that that joint has like an interesting and unique map system too, where
Yeah,
everything is built around the shrines. Really, you don't really see the towns or whatever. You don't need it for anything in particular in that game, but this game's maps, and then there's another thing where it's got that old school gaming thing where you go to a base on a planet and it's like, oh, this is a cryo lab. Okay, interesting. They were doing some like experiments with cryotech and like freezing shit, and the lab is like half frozen, like fucking Mr. Freeze walked through that bitch or whatever. But that's cool. It's some cool storytelling there. You go to another planet and it's the same cryo lab on that planet. Like same layout. You know what I mean? Like that is such an old gameplay thing.
yeah.
Like, but now I'm
We've
just going
we've
to a
got cryo
different
labs on 6 planets.
bruh. Like just the fact that you didn't make it like three
Fucking
cryo labs in a
McDonald's.
city is now I'm going to different solar systems to visit the same lab. This shit don't you know what I mean? Like why y'all
Yeah,
all doing the same experiments? What the fuck is this?
yeah.
I don't know.
No, it's McDonald's. They franchise it.
Yeah, right. The franchising this failed fucking experiment. And it's like the same like panic message on every computer. Like little shit like
Yeah.
that
See
takes
that
you
that
out of
shit
it.
that shit does that shit does bother me. It does make it feel like, I mean, it is a video game, but you don't want it to feel like if
Yeah.
there are 8 planets with 4 cryolabs, then basically you're just doing 4 of the same side mission.
Exactly. And don't get me wrong, the bases, the abandoned mines, sometimes you don't notice it as much. Like with like the mines, there's plenty of planets with mines. And sure, if it's like one corporation mining all these planets, that makes sense. They would all be laid out the same way. There's logic to it in some ways, but and then the layout, the enemies that you find there, you'll have different factions of enemies. So you can make it varied. But the ones that you go inside, they're such like hallways, like you following a path, trying to wind your way through the plant, do the shit. And
Old
it's
school
just
Doom.
yeah, and it's real noticeable if you replaying the level in that shit, right? Like you gonna
Yeah.
be like, I walked down this hallway like 3 times now. Like I'm starting to get confused
Niggas,
just off
niggas
this
turn
now.
to like, ask for directions. I'm not asking for the motherfucking directions.
Yeah, well, nah, this corpse ain't gonna tell me shit anyway. Like
Yeah.
shit's crazy, shit's crazy. But at the same time, there's so many cool little moments. Like I won't spoil too much, but like there's you got your typical Paradise Planet, seedy underbelly planet, like every type of town you can think of is a like, westernish planet, like where it's like you got your space fucking cowboys.
Yeah.
You can role play quite a bit. I'm just having fun pretending I'm an explorer. Next playthrough, I'll probably be a bounty hunter. I'm
I
having
am ready
I'm
to be Batman.
you,
That is the next thing I'm
you
gonna
running
do.
around fucking. I'm
Yeah.
not mad. I'm not mad. And you
I'm
can do
ready to
that.
be Batman. Yeah.
You can carry yourself like Batman in that
Yeah.
bitch.
That I already heard about it. The first time I heard about it, I turned the video off. I'm like, let me just find this myself.
Like, yeah, that shit is there's so much to it. You can build, the Normandy and be Commander Shepard if you want to. You get your crew together. You can
No,
be a miner.
I am
Like,
scared of the shipbuilding.
man, so
I'm
that's something
scared
else to
to
talk about.
death.
Yeah. So I've been upgrading my base ship. I know that sucks. Like the ship that they give you is not because I'm because they make it pretty straightforward. Like you got your as far as upgrading the ship, you got your lasers, your missiles, your engine, your grav drive to let you hop from system to system, and you just upgrade those if you want to, or you can get in there and actually like, like you said, take each part and place it where you want it yourself. I
Yeah.
ain't fucked with that. I
Dog.
haven't. It's too goddamn expensive for me right now. First of all, I ain't got no type of funds for it. Like, I just want to buy a new ship and just fuck around with it. Like
Yo, is it
maybe
me or is the in-game economy seem kind of like
Yo, I'm not
Spares.
making no money. Like, first of all, I fucked up because I did both the traits that make you have to send money. Like, I got parents
Oh
and
yeah, well, I don't know which
I
man.
got a
Look,
dream home, so I wasn't
nigga,
expecting to.
sending money home back to the family, nigga. You ain't Giannis. It's
Listen,
a video
man.
game. You're supposed to escape life.
Look, my parents gonna send me some cool guns and gear and shit, and it's like it's interesting to have somebody to go back to and like they got a whole backstory for you and whatnot. They be telling me about shit I've done on that they saw on TV, which is dope. Like I stopped a bank robbery, and then they just on this whole other planet, like, yeah, we saw you on the news. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. That feels a little bit more alive or whatever.
Yeah.
And the dream home is a must because I'm debating if I want to live a life outside the law, and I'm gonna have to drop some contraband off somewhere, bro. Like,
Yo, is that the trait where they like you get the dream home, but you gotta pay to, like it's a like the second paragraph was you gotta pay a really expensive mortgage or
yeah,
something like that.
it's like
Yeah, that's
125K.
no sir.
But the thing about it is,
I'm
it's like
broke in
a
real life. I don't need it in
right,
a video game.
right. That is you right. I gave myself all the problems I have now, but
Nigga.
but the thing is, you don't have to pay it like until you go there. Like your door will be locked, and they be like, "All right, you owe us your $500, 500 credit monthly fee," and then you pay that. You just go in your house. You know, you ain't got to pay, and then you work your way up to eventually you can pay off the house, and you never got to pay that shit again. So it's not really a big deal. It's just like a, you know, I love having somewhere to drop off my resources. I'm a hoarder, my dude. So I have so much fucking bullshit. I'm like, I'll craft one day. I'm gonna roll credits on this game. Ain't gonna craft a goddamn thing. I
Look,
promise you.
you
Like,
see, you're a hoarder. I'm the exact opposite, dog. I'll fill I'll fill my inventory up to a certain extent, and then
hmm,
I'll go, I like that weapon, I like that weapon, I like that armor piece, selling the rest of this shit.
I've gotten there. I'm there.
My, and I do that like if I'm playing an RPG, like even Cyberpunk, I do it like once a week where
Yeah.
I'll just get what I'm going to get, and then I'll go. I don't. It's an iconic weapon, but submachine guns ain't my shit. Sell.
You know what? I respect
You
it.
know,
I respect it.
all that shit gone. Next thing you know, I got four things. I got my pistol, my shotgun, my other shotgun, and my assault rifle, and that's it.
Honest to God, that's I'm getting. The problem is I got my two pistols, my two assault rifles. You know what I mean? Like I'm done. I got a little bit too much variety because there's some cool variety with like laser weapons and shit like that. But I'm 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 having a blast. Is basically my point about the game in general. I see a lot of things that could be bigger than they are, but it's interesting to compare it to Cyberpunk because often when I'm playing the game you look at a no Man's Sky and it has all the exploration aspects that you would want out of something like this game. And this game has some cool exploration and stuff, but No Man's Sky could use a little bit more of what Starfield has, like the human element. I felt like, well, when I was
Yeah.
playing anyway, like it would be cool to have a little bit like you make a settlement and meet some people.
Oh yeah,
Um,
that's all in there. That's all in
yeah,
there, man.
yeah. So and then uh, Starfield could use a bit more life to its human element. So it's like each one of those games falls on like a line on the spectrum, of what I would want versus what I have to sacrifice to get it. I feel like it's very interesting to look at those two games and the way they handle like AI and shit like that differently.
Yeah,
Uh,
because I definitely think Cyberpunk has the advantage as far as making the entire world feel alive.
right.
Because I mean, you can buy apartments and shit. Like
Yeah.
like my first playthrough, I bought like the big Corpo City joint. Finally got up enough money
Yep.
from selling all my shit.
Yeah, once a week.
Bought the big Corpo City apartment. Walked in
Yeah,
there, felt like I was out of place in the motherfucker because
of course.
I had the street kid story.
Me
But
too. Yeah.
once I did that, and then you just walk around the city, dog. It's just, I mean, cars is just, I mean, like one of the coolest things because it's one thing to have a game set in the future. It's another to actually make it futuristic. And one
Mm.
of the coolest little things that they did with that game was the walk and stop walking signs are on the street.
Yeah.
It's not a
Yeah.
sign in the air. It's on the street and the street lights up when it's time for you to walk. And I
Yep.
don't know why, but that just sticks with me. It's just something that's like it makes me want to walk around
It
and not
makes
fast
me
travel.
and it makes me obey the traffic law. I do the
Nigga,
same shit.
nigga. That's
I
when they say
wish.
stop. I'll be like,
Yep. Like I mean, clearly, I ain't about to walk on
look,
this red. That's
looking at my
crazy.
gun, just walk. All right,
Yeah,
bet.
facts, facts.
I don't know
And
why,
that's the
but
thing.
that's such a cool thing to me.
it's because they made a world that makes you want to be living in it. Like you want to be chilling in Night City, just kind of going to a random ass seedy ass bar. Not entirely the
Yeah,
city is horrifying, but it's cool as
dog.
fuck. Like it's the most video game ass shit. You know what I mean? And you gotta love it for that.
Bro, the Fight Club side quest is probably one of my favorite side quests in a video game ever
And I
because
haven't
it's
even delved into it.
it's a skill check, but it's also an RPG check
Right.
because you have to be leveled up. You have to understand how to fight. And I think it'll be better now that the melee combat's improved because I
Mm,
again played through it prior to the patch. Um, but once you like as you're working through it, you feel yourself getting better at that aspect of the game.
right. Right.
And you also feel yourself getting better in other aspects of the game because you have to do other shit to level up. Like you can't if you're not at a certain level, the actual quest will say like danger level very high, and
Yeah.
you could play the game for 30 hours, and it could still be that if you ain't really got your shit straight.
Yeah.
And that's the cool thing is like it makes
That
you
is
go,
dope.
damn, I really want to complete this, but I need to be doing something else towards it.
That's actually really a cool way to do that. And I've heard like, when I first saw the stats and like the character sheet and everything, and I saw the cool stat, I'm like, okay, let's see how that plays out. Like, what does that necessarily mean? But the way that they made they made such a unique set of traits and attributes. And I guess
Yeah.
they kind of come from the tabletop game, I'm sure. But
Yeah, yeah, it's very, very tabletop when you look at it. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, but they worked it into a video game in such a perfect way, and I'm like, yo, just watching y'all essentially make a semi sequel in the midst of your original game is fire to
yeah.
me.
Because I mean, Cyberpunk was a tabletop game, so
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah, the cool trait to me is probably my favorite because it actually makes a point to tell you like you have quicker and wittier responses. So
It's so
what it does, at least that I think I did, it seems like it from playing,
mm,
is that there are certain responses you get in game where you have the timer that goes across like you can
yeah,
only respond. It actually slows it down.
yeah. So you're more cool, calm, and
You have
collected. That's
yeah, you
awesome.
have more time. Yeah, you have more time to respond, but it also opens up as any RPG opens up other dialogue choices. And
Yeah,
those dialogue choices kind of take your characters in different directions and change the relationships.
interesting.
Though, no, I mean, the one thing that I wish the game didn't do, and I kind of get why it did this for the story, is that we, I mean, the game's been out. People have played Phantom Liberty. The game's been out, but they killed Jackie.
Yeah, yeah. No,
That's the one
my
I,
light spoilers for like the early hours of Cyberpunk, but man, he was a cool ass
dog,
character.
dog, the relationship between you and then I get because they had to do the whole Johnny Silverhand thing, and it would have been
Yeah,
hard to kind of mesh those three together. But I also think it would have made for some funny ass dialogue if he's looking at
absolutely.
you like, yo, who the fuck are you talking to?
Yeah, that would have been, and it could have been like an interesting, like, how does your relationship respond to your new best friend who lives in your goddamn head? You know,
Exactly. Yeah, because eventually that relationship grows and then y'all become close. So
right,
it's like, you know, why not have two best friends?
right,
But
right.
yeah, I wish it didn't have to go like that because I thought that was Jackie was probably one of the best characters. It's almost like killing Cottonmouth and Luke Cage.
Yeah, yeah, like that was such a highlight, and then they made that like the halfway point of the season. It was very weird, very
Yeah.
weird. Um, I was going to mention Cyberpunk Edge Runners because they kind of showed me that maybe that's kind of like how they get down. Like they want you to
Yeah.
get attached to motherfucker. Not
Yeah.
again, no spoilers. I'm not going to tell you anything that happens, but there's a lot of death in that show. Very
Yeah.
violent,
I
very
heard.
very willing to just tell you fuck you. I know you like this person.
A lot
Pow,
of
you
Edge
know what I
Runner
mean?
references in the new game too. In
Yeah,
the
I
patch
mean,
in the patch.
I know in the base version they had added weapons and stuff like that, but I know they have like a whole monument for the main character and stuff in
Yeah.
the new version. So, man, I can't wait to dive in. There's just too much shit to play. Like I have many games to
Dog.
drop down this
Do
list.
you realize that Super Mario Wonder and Spider-Man 2 drop on the same day?
Yes, yes, I do, and I've already got
Like that
Mario
didn't hit
Wonder
me till today.
preview.
Somebody tweeted about it.
I've been kind of like mentally preparing myself to bounce between those two games. Like I'm gonna have Mario at work and shit. I'm not gonna lie. I have a tech job, so we'll be chilling, waiting for jobs to come through. And I spend a lot of that time,
Lucky
playing Mario
motherfucker.
Wonder. Yeah, yeah, it's cool. Right now it's Starfield and Lies of P, which I need to get back to. Starfield has consumed my life, but
I was about to say you was so fucking excited for Liza P. I ain't heard that motherfucker come out your mouth once.
yeah, and it's because I played the demo on PlayStation. I started it now on Game Pass because I'm not about to pay for it. It's free. Um and now I have to play through the demo portion again, and it's just like I have this shiny new Starfield to play. And it's kind of fucking me up a
That's
little bit.
why
Like,
I don't play demos anymore.
yeah, yeah. Like it's cool because it's supposed to carry your progress over, but I fucked around Switch systems. My fault. This is on me. It's not on the demo. But
Yeah, that's true.
that's getting
Yeah,
played for
that's your fault.
sure. It's you got Spider-Man coming. I'm so glad. This is why I powered through Armored Core 6. And I want to talk about that shit for a minute because that joint made my top 5 games of the year list. I've beaten that game 3 times, and I'm probably gonna beat it a fourth to get that platinum. That's how I feel about Armored Core shit. Like that's a pick up and play fucking masterpiece, low key. That game's amazing. You don't have to if the gameplay looks cool to you, don't think about who made it. Like if a mech game that's got that fast paced action and like the customization of your kit sounds like something that would appeal to you. There's so much of that there. It's all mission structured. You play a mission, 10, 15-minute mission, you know what I mean? Yes, there are bosses that's gonna fuck you up. Yes, one of them is early in the game. Like it's a skill check type of boss.
Look,
But
man, it's a From Software game, damn it. And we
and
nah,
yeah, it
because
is
we
what it
nah, because
is.
exactly, and that's the thing. Like, if the mech shit appeals to you, play the fucking game.
Right, right. Don't overthink
Like
it. Don't
flat out,
trip.
just flat out.
That the reason that those bosses are like that, that early boss is a tutorial. Like that's not even the real skill check boss of the
You,
game. Like it's
you
just
niggas like Gundam, you like Macross,
I'm telling you,
fuck with it.
get nice, learn what works for your mech. Then you can start switching shit around. It's so much fun to work through different kits, man. You got melee. It's very Gundam. You got beam swords and shit like wits type of deals. Like it's very 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 dope. The story is so fucking Metal Gear. It's crazy. Like it's so goddamn Metal Gear. Even to the point where like there's like 3 endings and each playthrough ends with like a black screen and the main character of that ending talking to you on just a black screen with subtitles. Tell me that's not how every goddamn Metal Gear
Yeah,
game is. Like this shit is
yeah.
Metal Gear as hell, and I love it. They did such a good ass job, man. I'm really impressed with this game, and I knew I would be, but I love that this can kind of sneak in there in this crazy ass year.
It's gonna be nuts because I don't know. Like Super Mario Wonder and Spider Man Two are probably gonna be the last two games I buy this year
Yeah, I'm trying to think
because
of what else might.
I can't I just can't do it.
That's all you
I'm
got. I
like
can't
I'm just
like I get
like
it.
yo if I pop out with a review code or something for something else, cool.
Yeah,
I'll play it. But spending money like it's just too much. Can't do it. I got
yeah.
diapers and shit to buy.
Straight up, I feel you. I feel
Like,
you.
and buying them two games is gonna be a struggle. I gotta like they both drop right before Aria's birthday.
Yeah,
Like
that's
I gotta wait
yeah,
till afterwards because gotta be a good dad and
yeah,
all.
man.
But
The
yeah,
one
man,
thing,
that shit
one thing I recommend to everybody is the voucher program on Switch, bro. I bought
facts.
that $100 voucher for 2 games when I bought Tears of the Kingdom, and I think I talked about it on the podcast. And I used my second voucher on Mario Wonder. Didn't have to worry about paying for it. You know what I mean? Spent nothing extra. So that was $30 I spent for that $60 game, pretty much.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm
No,
about to do the
that
shit again.
voucher program is very very clutch.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if
It's
it's like always around, but it's glad you said.
it's like the big just for the big like the big Nintendo stuff.
Mm,
But I mean, Nintendo doing something consumer friendly, take advantage.
right, like they trying to make it easier for you to buy their games and spend less money. Hell yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah, take advantage.
Man. But let's see what else. It was at least one other game I wanted to bring up because I have been playing old school shit. I played through Mario 3 and Mario World in preparation for Mario Wonder. Just off some like straight up like
So,
as soon as that direct ended, that first one where we was like, this game looks amazing. I went and started Mario 3 and I beat that joint like three
let's
days.
see.
Like
So I've been playing because I had a because I did review for a Punish Backlog for WrestleQuest, which is WrestleQuest is one of the weirdest games I've ever played in my life,
nice. Yeah,
and
that's
it's not really weird at all because
interesting.
it's an RPG. It's a turn based like old school turn based RPG,
Right.
but it's set in a world of toys who are wrestlers.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, weird ass premise. You know,
It's a dog. It's the weirdest. I've never seen a wrestling RPG. Period.
straight up,
But
never.
a turn-based wrestling RPG, and all the characters are basically toys, and they all worship Macho Man Randy Savage.
The census is coming out of your mouth right now. It's crazy, man.
It's the
But I'm hip.
craziest fucking.
I'm hip.
It is so fucking good.
Yeah, I've
It
heard, man.
really is. It is so good, and it's like it's legit. Like this is an indie game, but man, it's a 40-hour beast.
Okay.
It's a legit turn-based RPG. I mean, bosses, dungeon, the whole thing. It's just set in like a wrestling world, and there's like little dinosaur characters. Because like I said, everything's a toy. So, and
Yeah,
it
yeah.
doesn't really sink in. Like I saw the first trailer and it didn't really sink into me. I just thought it was wrestlers.
We go right. Yeah,
And then
I didn't know
playing it, and
this.
they start talking about toys and shit. I'm like, you talking about toys? And I'm gonna keep playing. I'm
Crazy.
like, oh, all the characters are actually toys,
Okay, I mean,
which lends itself well to like the sprite based art style and all that
right,
stuff. But
right,
man, it's
right.
like I said, it's a beast of an RPG. Like it took me 42, maybe 43 hours to
Mm,
beat it. And that's accounting for
that's
the standard RPG shit like, yo, boss whooped my ass. I had to come back with a little something different.
yeah,
That
yeah,
type of
yeah.
shit.
But still,
But
man,
yeah, I
that's
highly
beefy
recommend that shit.
for an
For an
indie
indie game,
RPG.
dog,
Yeah, crazy.
I was expecting like maybe 20, 25 hours, something like that. Nah, Mega Cat
Yeah,
put their foot in it.
I love to see it, man. And random shout out. My favorite gaming podcast is kind of funny, and they're actually in that game. Was crazy. Um,
Yeah,
so,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it's crazy little Easter eggs. One day we'll be popping up in games and shit.
Right.
But
We got a lot of work to do. I'm trying to get on my Greg Miller shit and end up at WrestleMania, you know.
absolutely, that's
just,
a clear career
just
path for you.
just for a little bit, Like I ain't, I'm a lapsed WWE fan. I still keep track of it and everything,
Yeah,
but it's WrestleMania. Like it's
man,
still that.
talk about a
You know.
goddamn dream come true. Hell yeah,
No,
absolutely,
it's still that.
absolutely, man.
That
But
that's the move, man.
I'm definitely gonna be hopping into that one after I finish. After I get a chance to jump back into Sea of Stars. I've been
See
like,
that? Yeah, I was about to say,
yeah, yeah.
I gotta get that too.
It's tough, man. It's there's so
It's
much shit to play. I didn't finish Final
uh,
Fantasy 16. I'm mad at myself. Like,
2023 is whooping our ass. Like
yeah,
this is the backlog year. This,
yes,
this is this is the year
yeah.
where all the people who shit on you for having a backlog, you be looking at them like, see,
It'd be like that.
this is why.
Facts. Like I'm holding off on buying like Resident Evil 4 until I know I can actually say, and that's not gonna take me long. Like all the Resident Evils, I've loved them because they've been like nice chunks of experiences to just play through. Even though I'm supposed to play through two like four fucking times and I didn't. I played it once and I'll go back. I'll go back, but I wasn't about to burn myself out like that.
Right.
Um,
When you think about the amount of games that quality games that have dropped, because a lot of games drop every year and they're not
yeah,
all quality. This is like unreal
bro,
from January to December.
I've been,
And
yeah,
it's all shit like we would cop. It ain't stuff that we
yes,
would go, I
that's
think it'd be all right. No, everything is something to buy.
facts. Like I'm talking about like from the stuff that's from like Armored Core 6, which is a genre I've always wanted to get into, to Zelda, which is just like take my money. I don't need to hear shit else.
Oh,
To fucking Baldur's Gate 3, which is like you never been interested in this genre before, but you should play this game. We've had the whole gambit of types of game.
everything.
Like it's
Everything.
it's
And it's wild
crazy.
because we got a 2D Mario and a mainline Zelda in the same year.
The same year.
If you got that in 1 year, we'd go, that's a damn good year. At least for us,
Yeah.
because we got Switches. That's a damn good year. And then you get like, let's pick four games out. You get both of them. You get Armored Core 6, and you get
Record.
Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man 2. Man,
That's a good year.
bro. And then let's just throw some more
Any
games.
other time.
And
And then
then
you
you
got
get
Tekken,
and
Street Fighter
Starfield
6,
and Mortal
Starfield.
Kombat.
Like,
Bro, like, like that shit is crazy. Like, we just went back and forth like rappers, naming 10 out of 10 games that dropped this year, bro. I didn't even talk
like
about Dead Space. You know what I mean? We haven't even talked about fucking
remakes fire.
bro. Like, there's so much. I'm so glad Final Fantasy VII Rebirth did not drop this year
Oh my
because
god.
I just don't have the bandwidth, bro. Like, I can't even.
I'm not gonna have the
Process
bandwidth
that
next
shit.
year. That's the thing. Like that's the thing. I ain't gonna have the
Yeah,
bandwidth next year.
yeah.
Cause that
I'm gonna
dropped
need
what? It
to
dropped in February.
February. Yeah, like
Nigga,
24th,
that's
I believe.
close.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Very much so.
that's close. So I gotta finish Phantom Liberty.
Yep,
I gotta play and finish Starfield. I gotta play Super Mario Wonder. I gotta play Mortal Kombat 1. I gotta play Spider-Man 2
yep. And
before
then
February.
before February,
No
brother.
sir,
You're
no
gonna look
sir.
up. I'm gonna look up. It's gonna be my damn birthday next year in May.
And I'm gonna
It's
still be playing Starfield.
facts, and that's the problem that I'm facing right now. I'm kind of, yo, I gotta break myself off of this shit, but that's how I was with Zelda too. I had that like straight up put the pipe down, like you know what I mean. Like I had to
Uh,
just be like, yo,
See, I
just
was forced to put the pipe. It helped me. I was forced to put the pipe down because I had to review AEW Fight Forever, which
yeah,
was a solid game. Not the best, not close to the best game of the year, not
right,
close to the best
right,
wrestling game that is released this year, but still a solid
yeah,
game. But
be
that was
like
the one
that.
that broke me that kind of allowed me to break free for other shit because I still got to
hmm
go back and finish Zelda
And I
because
envy you.
I've dove into other shit,
Yeah, yeah. I'm about to
taking
go back and
advantage
play
of
that
that break.
bitch.
Because dog, if I get back into Zelda, I'm not coming out.
I'm fighting the urge to play it again. That's how much I love that game. Like,
I can't. Nah, I can't do it. If I get back into Zelda, I'm not coming out. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
we got 3.5, 4 weeks until Wonder and Spider-Man 2 drop.
yep,
If I play Zelda right now, I'm not playing either one of those games.
yeah. I get it. Like I put hundreds of hours into Zelda, and
Yeah.
it's when it's all, and I'm not even done. Like I haven't found all the shrines. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
this is crazy.
Like I still got a whole bottom third of the depths
Facts,
to uncover.
facts,
Like
facts,
it's gonna be nuts.
and at some point I'm just going back to that game just to build shit. Like I can't wait to just have my. I'm gonna have a whole mech run. I'm gonna play that bitch like Armor Core one of these days.
Oh, I
Straight up.
can't, dog. I can't wait. That's what I was doing right before I stopped playing. I decided I was gonna take like 3 weeks and focus on getting all my batteries upgraded,
Mm.
just so I could be just while out.
Yeah, yeah. I
Um,
mean,
so
pretty
I
much,
stopped at the right point.
pretty much, just like explore the depths. Like the depths is gonna
No,
be your
that's
best
what
friend. Yeah,
I did not leave the depths for
yeah,
two
yeah.
weeks.
It got to a point for me where I was like, man, I need some sunshine. Like I'm not actually
Bro,
underground, but like been down this bitch too long. Like I need to see
nigga,
the.
I mean, I was down there for a minute, just zone
Yeah,
night. And then I
yeah.
found this one area that was basically just like a tunnel system in the depths where
Mm.
you could just mine the fuck out of
Oh
zone night.
yeah, yeah. You find some of the mines down there. There's some cool
Dog.
like stuff down there. Did you do like the Koga side
I
quest
finished
in
that.
this
Yeah,
game?
I finished
Okay.
that.
Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah. I mean, you said like you're gonna be able to get your batteries at least to a good place. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
No, I'm trying to get them all the way up to where you see motherfuckers out there making full blown airplanes and shit, dropping
yeah, man.
bombs on niggas.
Yo, you got people smuggling shit out of shrines to make like unique.
Nigga,
Like it's crazy. And it looks dope. Like these people go crazy, but
can't
it's
wait.
it's it's a wild time for us to have like kind of let Zelda fade off a little bit. That just shows you the strength of this year. And I hope it keeps going, but I need my wallet to recoup.
No, and see that's the thing because like I said, if you pick those four games out and place them in a year, that's a fire year. But that's also a year that I finished Zelda in 2 months
Right, right. Facts.
because I got time before the next one drops. So now I just want to fully immerse myself in it. And by the time I realize I fully immersed myself in it, I've beaten it,
Yeah.
and I've got a
And
little more time. Now it's like I'm playing Zelda. Oh, this dropped. I got to play this, and then I play this, and then I'm like, damn, I ain't played Zelda in 3 months.
literally,
Literally to
man.
the day. It's been
Yeah.
3 months since
That's
the last time I played Zelda.
that's hilarious.
And it's not on some I don't want to play it shit. It's all this other shit dropped.
Right.
And it's big shit. It's indie shit. It's just all of this other shit is
Everything
out
in the world.
here. And
It's been a
I don't know when to go back to what.
it's this year's been nuts. Like I've never experienced this influx. And I guess maybe I've never been in a position to buy all the shit that's dropping, but like I'm actually getting a chance to play a lot of this shit, partially because of stuff like Game Pass and partially because I'm just terrible with money. But this year, I've been saying it for months, bro. It's possibly the best year in games. Like just this year feels like the culmination of like the dream that a lot of franchise is set up. Like, never thought you would see like a Zelda like this, a 2D Mario like this. Spider-Man 2 sounds like it's everything the first. You didn't even know you wanted the first one to be. You know what I mean? Combined with
Yeah.
Miles Morales, like all these games feel like, Dead Space realized its full potential, like as the original Dead Space. Like they brought in all the elements from 2 and 3. Resident Evil 4 knocked it out the park, bringing the horror back into the remake. From what I've heard, I haven't played that one. You can just go down, down. Armored Core 6 appealed to a mass audience. This is about to be the best selling Armored Core game ever. Like, it's crazy how many, like, it's like we're reaching the end of our Rainbow Road, like the pipeline that we had. But like you mentioned before, I think we were like off air when you mentioned this. You were like, this is probably the result of the pandemic. Like, this is
Oh
all
yeah,
the
this
work.
is this is the
Yeah.
COVID year. They came back and got their shit back in blood, man.
Right, right. And
This is,
I am not mad. I love that they were just like, bam, bam, just drop all of it back to back. Like,
but you know what the craziest shit is that this year is nuts, and next year is probably going to be crazier because
mm,
you're basically coming out the gate with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth,
yeah,
and you know the Switch 2 is coming.
yep, probably
So
next
then
year.
you have to deal with whatever the fuck is dropping on that.
Probably Mario, most likely.
Right. Yeah, you
So
because I think I texted you the report, right?
I'm not sure, but I
Yeah.
saw it. I saw some
Yeah.
reports about
So,
it.
but we called that shit. We
Yeah,
called it. We knew we was getting open world Mario when that
anybody
was
that's
up.
been paying attention and looked at how long it's been since Odyssey was like, yeah, it's
Nigga,
about time. You know
it's
what I
about
mean?
time. So open world Mario probably because I think I said it on the last episode. It's probably a launch title.
Yeah,
Metroid Prime 4 is still out there.
that's gonna be on that console
And that's
for sure.
if it's not a launch title, it's one of those launch window titles. I
Right.
always hated that term because it's like, dog, just it's basically a launch title. Like you get
Yeah,
the first 3 months, it's okay.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
Right.
and then that's just Nintendo. There's no telling what the fuck Sony's got in the tuck because Naughty Dog's been working on some shit. I'm
Right.
sure that's probably going to drop within the next 8 to 9 months. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sure Insomniac got
We're,
something else in
we're
the
gonna see
tuck.
Wolverine soon. We're gonna see
Yeah,
Wolverine soon. I
yeah.
believe. I want to bring this up. Speaking of kind of funny, they talked about this recently too. But I was also already of the mind Wolverine's popping up in Spider-Man 2. Like, he's gonna be in that game. He's gonna set the seeds for like all the stuff to tie it together. I believe so. Yeah, we're gonna start
I
this.
would
I
that would
believe
be
we're going.
interesting how they would get him in there.
And honestly, I think just the fact that they already had Avengers Tower, it just establishes, yeah, there's more heroes. They be doing stuff like, you know what I mean? Like, Avengers has a headquarters right where you were in Spider-Man 1. That's
Yeah,
like, why would there ever be crime there? This is a small ass area, you know what I mean?
yeah.
So, yeah, I think they can make it happen.
Now I'm wondering how they fit Wolverine into that story.
That's a good question. I mean, I feel like maybe
Uh,
you don't know that he's Wolverine, maybe, but or
yeah, but like you can't hide Logan.
yeah, but I feel like Peter can interact with Logan and then maybe see some alluding to Wolverine. You know what I mean? Like they do shit like that for sure.
I mean, yeah, they do. But like, yeah,
Yeah,
you're gonna know it's Logan. This ain't like
right.
Mike Trout. Like you walk down the street, I could throw a rock in California and hit a Mike Trout, and it won't actually be Mike Trout.
That's facts.
Like
But
it's a whole lot of stocky white dudes walking around out here.
you're not wrong. You're not wrong. But nah, Logan's gonna be pretty recognizable with this. Um, I would say this is the game that gave us a Sinister Six in the first game. Like they not about to hold back shit, so
Bro,
I
they
they'll
did
make it
that
work.
early.
It was crazy.
That's
I
the shit that
actually,
threw.
yeah, I was
We,
like, we sure? But hey, if you make, I feel like Sinister Six, Symbiote, Green Goblin is a great trilogy of Spider-Man games. Like that
yeah,
works for me.
I just hope that they don't make Venom kind of like a secondary like character in that. Like trying to
Yeah,
get to Green Goblin. I don't want Venom to be like Bane in
build
Dark
up.
Knight Rises
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Same. That's a great comparison right there because
because that
Bane's
hurt
a
my feelings.
Bane's a great character that always kind of got the short end of the stick, and they finally made him smart, but they kind of shafted him with the whole.
They made him smart and then they turned him into a puppy in the last 20 minutes of the movie.
Yep, that was weird. It was weird.
Yeah, very
But
strange.
hopefully Venom, Venom being so front and center with the marketing, like I'm really
I
hoping
still think you
they
can play as Venom. I still think that's where they're going with it.
I can see it. I mean, Black Suit Spider-Man gives me what I need from that, but I can see it for sure. Especially with it being probably being Harry, like that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, your
And
best friend gets control of it. Because Norman's got to be Green Goblin at some point. Like he can't be in two straight games and not end up Green Goblin. That just
nah,
does not make sense.
I feel like he'll be at least like a slight greenish hue by the end of this game. He might not be all the way green, but this motherfucker gonna look a little sick by the end of the game. Like
You know what I want? Because I think for like, because everybody considers Raimi's first two Spider-Man movies to be classics.
what?
But the one thing I think he did right more than anything else was making the Green Goblin a separate personality
Yeah,
and having him like talk to Norman through just with the mask just sitting there. I would love to see that shit in the game.
facts. You know what's funny about that? He did it twice because he did it again with the damn arms for Doc Ock. Like
Yeah,
he and they hit both times. It's crazy.
it worked. It worked both times, and I'm
Yeah,
like, yo, that's actually a really great because I mean, at the end of the day, they're mentally ill.
right. These are people that
And
kind of need
like
help. You know,
the only difference other than being broke and rich between Spider-Man and Batman is Spider-Man doesn't want to beat on these mentally ill people. Batman's
right?
out here like, yo, I gotta whoop your ass.
Yeah, yeah. Facts. Batman's just spitefully beating their
I'm
ass.
gonna beat your ass until you feel better. And
Yeah,
I love
that's
Batman. Batman's my favorite fucking superhero, but some of them jokes be funny.
yeah. Nah, that's
Some of them
facts.
jokes be funny. Some of them might be looking like, okay, y'all just don't know what the fuck you talking about. But it's a couple of them that be hit.
Man, don't let this be my in the episode on small topic shit because I'll talk to you about people that don't
Nigga, this
like
whole
Batman.
episode is off topic.
Ain't no topic, right? But
Yeah,
we've at
this,
least managed to keep this video game based. I want to say before we get off that Sam Raimi topic, it's funny because sympathetic villains might be his bag. Like the third movie, the one thing they did right was Sandman. Like his
Sandman. Yeah.
whole story, yeah. So like maybe lean toward that and not so much like punk ass Topher Grace. You know, like I
Dog.
don't
Topher
know.
Grace is Eddie Brock.
It was a irony thing, like for all the people like me who wanted Topher Grace to be Peter, but nah, man, like don't
Like
make him
it's
such a douchebag.
the
Like,
only thing good that came out of Topher Grace being Venom is that we got the ultimate hater scene in every movie you've ever heard of. There is no hater scene greater than Eddie Brock in church asking God to kill Peter and Spider-Man.
that's actually
That man
wild
went to church
to
and
film.
asked God to off that nigga.
Like
That
what?
is hate. Yo, you
Kids
gotta
saw
hate a
this.
motherfucker in your soul to do some blatantly send your ass to hell shit.
There's no exaggeration in what you're saying right now. Like that shit right there is different,
Bruh.
different. Like
That's all. Like I said, that's an all time hater moment. There's
you're
nothing
absolutely right,
that tops that. That's God tier hating. I aspire to that level of negativity. I'm gonna be honest with you.
man. Straight up, and I mean, Harry spent like two full movies hating on this man. Still didn't
And it's
master that
still
shit.
what is no,
Still didn't master that
no.
shit.
But
Crazy.
but you know why? Because Peter fucking threw his threw his fucking pumpkin bomb back at
Well, like a savage, he
him.
did that shit. Like,
Dodge the shit.
yo,
No, bitch.
that shit was actually dope as fuck. Like, they
Bruh,
had some
that was
cool ass
cold.
moments. They had some cool ass
Spider-Man
moments
3
in them.
had the coolest moments of the
Yeah,
Raimi trilogy,
that's
but
what
it was
held it
just
up.
so yeah, it was just so bad. Like
Yeah,
I didn't want to see Peter pelvic thrusting outside of the clothing store.
I know that that's what you do. They Thor Love and Thunder that shit. Like
I still
they
haven't seen
was
that.
right, exactly. But they got so high up. I watched it again. It's MCU movies don't dip too far below like 6, 7 out of 10, right? But it's definitely dipping down there. It's like you did a little too much with the
I mean,
comedy.
Thor's got two of the worst movies in the MCU
Yes, but
because Dark World was terrible.
Dark World was terrible, but for like formulaic, like y'all made the most generic superhero movie possible reasons. I forgive Dark World. I really do. I might not watch it, but I forgive it. Thor, Love and Thunder, and I don't want to taste your view before you watch it because there's some things about that are
I'm
dope.
gonna watch it no matter what
Right,
because I wanted this because I heard Christian Bale was fucking incredible.
right. He was a really good villain that didn't get enough shine. Is all I'll say
And
about that.
I fuck with
There's
Christian Bale, so
yeah. It's gonna hit and where it hits. I like the resolution of the movie, like what it means for Thor going forward, and like characters that get introduced and shit. Like there's some interesting choices there, but I forget my greater point now. Like what I was even talking about to get to Thor. Oh
Basically about how
yeah,
bad it was. Yeah.
no, Spider-Man 3 did the same shit where Thor, Love and Thunder kind of they saw what they had. They know they were popping. Ragnarok killed it. They were like, we feeling ourselves. We making a few too many jokes. It's like, have you ever told a good joke and then like tried to be the funny guy in the room the rest of the day, and at some point realized that that first joke was the last time you got to laugh? Like it's
Nah,
like
can't
those
say that I've
vibes. It's
been
like
through that.
those. We can be honest here, Tony. It's a safe
I
space, man.
can't say that that's
All
ever
right,
happened to me.
all right. Well, I'm
You
gonna
know
have
damn
to.
well it hasn't. You just doing a bit. You know damn well it had.
Nah, honestly though, you get what I'm saying. Like, have you ever
Right, I know
seen
what you're
some?
saying. I'm just saying
Have
I've never
yeah,
experienced.
I know you've seen people say something funny and you make the mistake of laughing, and now they tapping you on the shoulder and telling you a joke every 15 minutes. Like that type of
Uh huh.
vibe. Like that's
Yeah,
the
but you
vibe
know
of Love
me.
and
You
Thunder.
know me. What's going to be my reaction to that?
Stone Cold House.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
I mean, it is what it is, but I mean, that's what you're probably gonna be sitting there watching Love and Thunder thinking. But every now and then it'll hit, like you know how it goes. So
Yeah. And see, that's the
it's
thing. I don't need it to be funny. You know
right,
what I mean?
right.
Like whatever jokes hit, they hit. But like one, I think Chris Hemsworth is a great Thor.
He is,
Despite,
regardless.
what happened with this, I think he's a great Thor.
Right.
So I'm there for that. And I'm there for the action. As long as, as
Yep.
long as people are getting fucked up with a hammer or an axe with a hammer side on it, I'm cool.
Facts.
I don't need too much out of my movies. This is why I love the Fast and the Furious franchise so much. I get pissed off when I see, like, obviously people's movie opinions are their movie opinions, but I get
Right.
pissed off when I see people breaking that shit down like, oh, he rammed the car into the barricade, jumped and caught Letty. That's so stupid. It's a dumb action movie.
Of course.
The
Of
dumber the
course.
better.
When
It's
The
like,
Rock did like this and broke out of a cast, it was
oh,
over. Like we know what we
he
was doing.
threw a
Like,
torpedo in a moving car.
come on, man.
What
Like
like and see, this
what
is
do
the
you
thing.
think you're
Like,
getting here?
do you think people did this when like Stallone and Schwarzenegger were in the middle of their dumb movie? Like, you think Rambo was a smart movie? Okay, the first one, yeah. The first one
You
did have
said
a greater
Rambo.
message.
You did not say
Yeah,
First Blood. So yeah,
that's
you
true.
got a
That's true.
point.
That's
You
true.
got a
I'm
point.
good. I'm good there.
Yeah.
Yeah, First Blood, great. It was great from like a storytelling and actual like message perspective. But
Right.
everything after that,
It
he
was
was
Rambo.
just basic. Yeah,
Like,
Rocky is wholly ridiculous.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
but I will accept no Rocky slander aside from Rocky Five. Like I'm all the way with the hate
no, no,
train
no.
on Rocky Five.
No. I love the
Yeah,
Rocky
yeah, yeah, yeah.
franchise,
But
but it's
I
a
stand by
ridiculous.
that they're ridiculous premises, but shockingly good, like well made and
Dog,
well crafted movies. Like
you think about how many Schwarzenegger movies actually are just stupid, like on
yeah,
their face, but
yeah,
they're good.
really, really
Predator
fun to
is
watch.
ridiculous. Predator takes itself so seriously,
Yep,
but it's
yep,
so fucking good.
man. Seriously,
Like
and
he's
like
done like Jingle All the Way shouldn't have worked.
at
It
all.
shouldn't have worked. Kindergarten Cop, Twins, like it's all and I'm getting to the
Yeah.
comedy stuff, but his action stuff, like all of that stuff is ridiculous. Even when The Rock was doing the rundown is
Hmm.
still to this day to me a top three Rock movie.
Yeah,
It is
yeah,
still one of his best because it was
absolutely.
just a dumb, ridiculous. Christopher
Action
Walken
movie.
was the main bad guy, calling people Oompa Loompas. They had Sean William Scott doing some weird thunder and lightning jumping karate shit.
It was that
Rosario
like
Dawson talking in a Spanish accent about some golden cat.
these
And not
sentences
to
like
mention, out of all of that, yeah, it was. Out of all of that, there's a scene where they tell everybody about the Pendiru. And if you don't know about that, that's an animal that in, I think, South America and a couple of other places, if you jump in the water and you pee in the water, it swims up your urethra, it sticks itself in there, and then you've got to go to the hospital to get it removed. And there was an scene in there
ah,
basically like, God, it's not going to happen to me.
yeah. I mean,
Stupid,
yeah,
but entertaining. That
entertaining as
it's
hell.
okay,
We're
man.
gonna be
Like I get
talking about
mad
it.
as hell. I see Martin Scorsese and James
Yeah,
Cameron out here running their mouth about the
yeah,
quality movies. I'm like, dog, just make your movie and shut the fuck up. People are going to
bro.
see it. It's got your name attached to it. Just make your movie
My
and shut the fuck up.
my whole counter argument is there was a period where Hollywood was dominated by scary movie ripoffs. We made it out. We here now. You know what I mean? We're gonna be okay.
Bruh,
It's okay, guys.
everybody has been able to
Like
make their movie.
right.
It's
You
okay.
know, like I don't get what the like. This just pretentiousness masquerading as like a cry for help. It's like so
Bruh.
annoying. And I mean, sure,
People
the
won't
MC,
go see my movie. I'm a 30-time Oscar winner,
like
billionaire.
we're
People won't
watching
go
them.
see my movie. Okay, get the
That's
fuck out of here. Because
that's
when
the
he drops
crazy
that joint
thing.
with Leonardo DiCaprio, everybody's gonna go see it.
We're watching it. Like we want to see this. No, nothing has died. Like Ace Ventura and shit didn't take away from fucking Schindler's List. Like, come on, bro. Pay attention to what the fuck going on. No disrespect to Ace Ventura, but I'm just saying,
I
like,
say I'm definitely not here. You know me.
I picked the
You ain't
wrong
hear that.
example. I picked the wrong example, but you know what I mean. Like
It's
the
goddamn cinema.
silly facts. Aside from the Eagles losing that Super Bowl, but
Yeah, well then
yeah, but you know, we'll
it's
see what
movies.
happens this year. This
The,
is
the,
this is
the
the
Dolphins also won a Super Bowl, so it was all wholly
yeah, I know, right?
unrealistic.
Facts. This is the closest
Shout out to
year.
Jers.
Yeah. This year is the closest that we got to like possibly seeing that shit play out in real life. I want to see what goes down.
Man,
But
70
listen,
points.
you see how I can remember various points of Ace Ventura's plot, and also remember that Schindler's List is a classic. You know, I also love the Green Mile. Like, you know, these movies
Yeah.
are gonna be great,
Like Quentin Tarantino's an unrepentant dickhead, but he don't miss.
bro. Facts,
You
100%
know,
facts. Like, you know
he
what I
don't
mean?
miss.
And the
It's
fact
is
that
what it is.
for a brief period we loved Austin Powers, don't take away from that. Like, you know what I mean?
Hey,
Stop
look,
talking
hold up.
about.
All three
I
of the movies
know,
was classic.
I know. But I'm
Even
just picking.
Beyonce's terrible acting.
I'm trying not to pick the real trash. Like I'm trying to pick the hits that, and they hits for a reason. They fire for real.
Yeah,
But these
yeah.
movies can be hits, and they could take over the box office and have a bunch of people trying to replicate them, and then you can drop your amazing movie. Oppenheimer is shitting on all this shit. Like nothing is about to
Oppenheimer
touch,
damn near a Billy. The only
bro.
thing that's beating it is Barbie,
What
which
are
is
we talking about?
duality
Like,
right there.
and look, Barbie is fucking cinema. I haven't even seen it yet, but like that's one of those movies where it's like y'all had a vision for this property. It's like Speed Racer to me.
Right.
Like you knew what you wanted to make out of Barbie, and you was like, this is the only thing that a Barbie movie could be for me. And you
Right.
made that. That's cinema. That's art. That's what you
Yeah.
do. It's
And
why
then dropped Oppenheimer the same day, and both of them gonna hit a billion.
facts. And nobody suffered.
Nobody.
Nobody's
Matter of
crying.
fact, people leaned into that shit. That was so dope to me seeing people like lean into the
Hell yeah.
Barbenheimer thing.
Yeah,
That was
especially the
fire.
stars. Like this, you got the stars of both movies. Like, yeah, I'm gonna see the other movie.
Yeah,
Like, come
because
on, man.
it's movies, man. Like that's what this shit is here for. Dog, as soon as I can,
Facts.
I'm gonna see Saw 10.
Yeah, and I've been falling off with
I
Saw movies for years. So
yeah. But that first one, that's still that ending.
yep,
That's top five horror movie ending ever.
yeah, they knew how to do that twist. Like,
I remember, dog. I can still remember where I was when I saw that shit. You remember Chris Scott?
yeah, of course.
I was at his crib because we was paired up on a science project,
Hmm,
and it's the first time I've been in his crib, and we turned Saw on. We working on this shit, and I'm like half doing the shit and half watching the movie.
of
And
course.
I just stopped. Like when he got up out the middle of the floor, I just stopped the whole project. I'm like, yo, nigga, you see this shit? This
Yo,
nigga just got up. He
yeah,
been sitting here the whole time.
yeah, yeah. It's one of those stop the project. We got to talk about this shit more. It's
Bro,
like, hey, man,
unreal. And to this day, that shit still hit.
yeah. You can get that out of every type of movie. So stop being pretentious about your film. Stop being pretentious about your games. Everything is dope. We can have criticism of Starfield without calling it a 4 out of 10, just like we can have criticisms for all this MCU shit without pretending it's ass, it's flawed. That's fine. Everything
But
can be flawed.
some of it is ass.
Some of it is, I think MCU hits mid at worst, personally. Like, I don't think
Iron
any of
Man
it
3.
is unwatchable. That's mid as fuck. It's not you still gonna
I
get some.
can't watch Iron Man 3.
I
Can't
recently
do it.
watched Iron Man G3, and you're gonna get some dope fights between Iron Man suits and shit like that. Like
Yeah,
there's some stuff there.
that's the one I can't
Um,
do.
wasn't that the one with Hammer, like the one bad
Yeah,
guy? Yeah, he
yeah.
wasn't terrible.
And they turned the Mandarin into Trevor Slattery.
That
And
was a
yeah,
joke. That was
yeah,
terrible. Yeah, that was. But they redeemed themselves with the Shang-Chi, so it's fine.
yeah.
We're fine. But
Shang-Chi was fire.
Shang-Chi was absolutely, and again, we talk about how the MCU is bad now. Which one came out phase fucking 2, and which one came out now? You know what I mean? Like Shang-Chi's that heat. So, I don't know, man. I think that's a pretty good place to wrap it up on Shang-Chi's that heat. I think that's a good message to make sure the audience gets every week.
Facts.
um,
Facts.
But no, man, let us know what you guys have been playing. If there's any games that you feel like you want to join the conversation, because this game of the year convo later is going to be crazy, and we should take this time to talk about stuff that might not get the shine it deserves now. So definitely
That
hit
might be
us up.
next week. We might have hit some of
Yeah,
the deeper cuts.
yeah, we might have to get into like the underrated games of the year because there are definitely some sleeper hits. But yeah, hit us up with those as well. We might put up like a poll on Twitter or something like that. We'll see what happens. But we'll go ahead and wrap it up for now, man. Thank you guys for hanging out with us on this lighthearted episode. Until next time, I'm Kendall. This is Tony, and make sure you keep gaming.